I am very excited to be here with Martina Fuchs and talk about what's been going on, I would say, last 4 months in your life and business, and how you see the new normal or next normal uh, in your life and business and beyond. Um, so let's start with what was going on in your business, let's say beginning of March, middle of March. What happened? Did you have to cancel some plans? Did clients cancel on you? Like the initial shock as the world changed in 1 week.
It was super crazy. So I really can say, because I had two major things or topics going on at this time. First, I was launching my brand new book exactly in this period.
Yeah.
And nothing worked like according to plan, as you can imagine, as everybody can imagine, because even Amazon had a lot of troubles at this
Yeah.
time. So I had a big book launch prepared. Everything was on the run. And my book, Godfathers and Godmothers, for promotion, my new book, everybody was ready, steady to go. And then Corona hit, and Amazon had a lot of problems. So really nothing worked like it usually worked. So my plans did not work out as I liked them to.
Yeah.
And the other thing was that I also was doing my first female expert branding positioning week, and it was also during this time. And it was, so for 1 second I was like, should I skip it right now? Maybe
Yeah.
it's not the right time. So I was really, should I skip it? Maybe because people are really have other topics. And I said, no, you go for it, because they need it now. They need the message. Go out and help them. And that was also, it was completely different as planned. Of course, I was offering at the end my new positioning course, and not so many people have bought like they would do in a normal time.
Yeah.
But it was a great experience to be with them, to support them, to encourage the people. So this was what happened in the in the in the core week.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think the initial response I had was to add a lot of free resources. So
Yeah.
I think that's what people needed right away. And then when the
Exactly.
shock was over, then people are actually willing to invest. So, okay, so you had this initial shock and initial, problems with, supply chain of the book, and maybe it was not the perfect moment that particular week to sell a positioning course. If it was maybe, I'll sell you a course on how to sell, that's maybe a little bit different. But what happened then next? You say, okay.
You see, I'm somebody on the other side, I must say, you are somebody, we know each other for quite a long time right now. And you are somebody who always inspires me. I was Sigrun is all in, so she's giving 150,000%. And that's something always that animates me too. So because I'm also a go-getter and get out with my message. And this was something I said, okay, I'm all in it as well, because that's what I also teach anyway with my expert branding and positioning. I said, people, you have to show up, you have to get out, or you stay at home and go home. And for me, immediately was clear, because it was not the first crisis I experienced in my 25 years of self-employment. So we had 9/11, we had the financial crisis. So, and this always changed a lot in my business as well, like for everybody else. And what I for sure knew, that I say, you have to be even more visible. You have to be even more out right now than you ever have before. And people will really love you and follow you if you give them a helping hand during really tough times. And that was for me really the reasons that I will do my female expert branding week. I will cheer them up. I will give them everything I have for free there. And if somebody will join me, it's fine. If not, it's fine too, because these are really strong or heavy circumstances for a lot of people. And afterwards, I must say, I really stayed in this busy. I never had a low time or a downtime. So I never experienced it at all. So I also can say I never was bored by not knowing what to do.
I was almost jealous of the people that said, oh, now it's time to read a book. Now it's a time to rediscover your hobbies. And I'm like, what? I've never been
Exactly.
here in my life.
Exactly, that was the same for me. It was a, ooh, I would love to have a free week or something like.
Yeah.
No, but I say it was a first world problem.
Yeah.
But I was just all in. I really did my thing. I went straight on, and of course, you could feel when the completely shutdown happened, the lockdown happened, that
Yeah.
people were more in a cocoon, and a lot of them they were so shocked and so in panic mode, so they didn't act or react anymore. So,
Mhm.
but now it was a little bit more quiet than for coming new clients, for new client onboarding. I definitely can say this, but it changed quite quickly. And I think people really, really had me on their mind. I said, oh, she was there all the time. And when
Yeah.
I talk to people, oh, you were so busy. Have seen you everywhere and you
Yeah.
were always there. So I think people really honored this. So yeah, that's my experience.
Yeah. So there was this initial shock, which I think was not the best time to
Yeah.
sell, but it was the best time to give free resources and help people. And then there was also some rehabilitation, people getting used to home office, but I think it picked up quite nicely after that. So when did you see, like, did you launch again, or how did you then approach it when you say, okay, now the initial shock is over? Did you do
Well,
another launch, or how did you make sure that people came back to you?
I did a lot on, I used the time, the little bit more quiet time. I developed my long wanted, really great freebie. I really put in a lot of effort and create really an outstanding freebie for my expert branding topic.
Mhm. Yeah.
Then I had already launched my positioning course twice before, and I went with this group, and the people always were saying, so after this 12 weeks, so what's coming now? We want to work on with you. So do you have anything? And I said, okay, yeah, I want to. I never had time. So through all my book writing and book publishing in between.
Mhm.
And I used the time to develop my flagship program. So, and this what I did now in a beta launch, in a really smooth, soft launch for my existing clients and for some new ones.
Mhm.
And I did this last week. So this was my
Yeah.
first approach for this, and it was quite successful. I'm quite happy. So I
Yeah.
made 25K on this. It was just really a pilot thing. So, but I'm quite happy with it, and I got a lot of one-on-one clients again. So it
Yeah.
really came in through my podcast, through my new book, through all what I did. So it was just like people, we are awake. Okay, there's one. Okay, we have to become an expert now.
Yeah.
We have to be seen and known as an expert. So let's talk to
Okay.
Martina.
Yeah. So from March to, let's say, July, was your approach then to just be visible and then let people know that you have something to offer? So then they just came to you organically, because you didn't wait until last week to launch, like you were
No,
selling something in between. So was it
yes,
then
absolutely.
just one, by you being visible, doing your podcast,
I
that
think one of my
gradually?
major, yeah, exactly. One of my major channels for new clients is my podcast. So in every episode, I do something, I invite the people, I promote something. It's my freebie, it's my new challenge I did, my bootcamp positioning week.
Mm,
I offer them free strategy calls for one-on-one clients. So there's always something going on in my business. And I really can see business came back. For me, the most quiet months would be maybe April, so March, April. So
mhm.
to the beginning of May, and then people really, I would say, wake up again and they call
Yeah.
me, and can I book a call and can we go on? So from May on, people really came in by and booked one-on-one consultations. And yeah, and also old clients came back and said, oh, we need you now, especially. And I
Yeah.
had a few really great clients working with me through this period, and that was amazing. So
Yeah.
I had one lady working with me, and she's in a really, really special niche.
Mhm.
And we did fabulous on her. So she got a really big new client from the US. She increased her turnover 30%. She
Mm.
tripled her income in her online shop. She did amazing. So she was really doing everything I told her. And she was sometimes really frightened. And she said, "Oh, Martina, I'm super afraid." But it was amazing. So she's my absolutely super rock star in my client during this time.
Yeah. I think those that really pulled through, like you said, they just pulled through and didn't give up or stop
Exactly.
business.
Yeah.
They are the winners of this period. Yeah.
Exactly. I think that's the biggest thing everybody needs to learn. So never stop your business, and never stop your marketing or PR or anything. It doesn't matter what's going on outside. And this is something, so I'm from the media side. I'm doing marketing since 25 years. I've been for big newspapers and magazines before. And what we always learned, and what I always taught my clients, is you have, in the hardest times, you have to be more visible. You have to do more marketing. You have to be more out there than in the good times, when people already are in the mood for spending money. So if you really have tough times, you have to be as visible as much as you can. That's the point.
Basically, you have to double down in the period where you maybe feel the least, that you want to do it, let's say.
Exactly.
Because you feel like, oh, this is an uncomfortable time. This is a time where people are not selling, but actually that's where you should double down on.
Yeah. I'm fully with you 150%. Also, I can remember a lot of people also in my Facebook group who said, can I really sell now? And it feels a bit itchy for me if I offer something to the people. And I said, yes, you can, you have to, because you have to pay your bills first and all. And second, people need help right now. I think it's especially my topic, where it's all about positioning yourself as the go-to authority and expert and being known there. And I think especially in tough times, you're looking for advice with true experts. So I don't go to the wishy-washies and maybe, so I'm looking to the lighthouses in the different territories. So you are an unbelievable big lighthouse. Yeah, you are visible everywhere in the market space. So if I want to build up a great online business, definitely I can't miss you.
No, you're not supposed to.
And that's something people are really looking for. They're looking for the experts, because if I must say also, you only have one shot. If people are in a crisis mode, they don't spend money like, oh, I buy this course, oh, I book this expert, oh, I book this. So they invest wisely. They think triple. Do I really, am I in the right place? Is it really worth investing so much money for this person, for this consultation, for this online program? So you have really to be on spot. And if you become visible during a crisis, it's good, but you should have done work before. So people, like we always say, people have to love you, to know you, to experience you, and to build up trust, because in this moment, I give you money if I trust you that you are the right person to work with and helping me during really these tough times.
Yeah. We noticed, we also, my business has grown 75%.
Wow.
Compared to the period since last year. But what we did notice, exactly what you said, people would have a call instead of just booking, so that was one change. And for programs that were a bit more expensive and a whole year, the call, instead of maybe being 15 minutes, it was 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Or they would ask for 2 calls, or they, so like you said, instead of people spending their money, I'm not saying necessarily unwisely, but, more easily, suddenly they see possible constraints. So they're going to be absolutely sure this is the right person. This is the expert in the topic I want to invest in. And I'm still going to do my due diligence. So check people who have worked with that person and everything. So this shines like the perfect spot to be in, Martina. So how do you feel like, oh, I help expert be even better known as expert. So, wow, this is my time. It's like...
yeah, it's the best time. Pardon? I didn't understand.
It must feel good to be so perfectly positioned yourself.
Yes, it feels really great. So, and it's something you see, Yeah, you can label the fruits of hard work. It was like I would say, it's not an overnight success. So I work now 25 years in my area of expertise, but to focus really on this topic, expert branding, which I really brought into the market of personal branding. I really worked hard. I would say the last 5 years, I wrote 2.5 books, because the second edition of my bestseller, I did an update. I did an update on how to position yourself even in crisis as the go-to expert in this new edition. And that was a lot of work. So and this is now really, I say, wow, it's now my time. Yeah, it's really great, and it's feeling really good.
And what can other people learn from it? Like, this is probably not a good time to be a generalist.
No.
No.
I think you can be. I have one little differentiation on generalist. You can be a specialized generalist. What does this mean?
Yeah, what does it
mean? If you are maybe in a topic like digital marketing, there digital marketing is really broad, as we know. You have content, you have video, you have SEO, you have website development, and so on. So you have different topics which are under the roof of digital marketing. And if you are a specialized generalist in this topic, that can mean that you come as a consultant into a company and you have really good knowledge about 4 big topics under this roof. But then you have your expert network, and you say, okay, listen, I can do a strategy with you. I know exactly how the things are working. And but I have exactly the right people for you if we need to develop a cool SEO strategy, or if we have to develop some video marketing skills or plans or strategies about. So I take other really deep dive experts from this network I have, but I'm the head. I am the consultant for the first steps, for the strategy, and then for deep dive, I bring in my other experts. So that's for me a specialized generalist, which can also be really great positioned by him as the go-to authority in a kind of this area. But everybody else will really struggle, because we have now the other thing, what we all waited for, that people are really now recognize that, digital is the thing to have. It's not something, it's nice to have, but you don't need it. But now everybody says, oh, we need it. We need Zoom. We need home office. We need the digital communication. We need all this stuff. And therefore, the market space in the digital world gets more crowded than ever before, because everybody knows now, I need maybe an online business. I need an online program. But you have to sell it. You have to position yourself in this broad market. And I was reading lately that about 300,000 new coaches every year come into the German market.
Boy.
So look, wow. So that's a big crowd of a red ocean, but what we call coaching. And if you are not able to position yourself as the go-to coach, maybe in your topic, then you really will have big problems to make a profitable business out of what you're doing.
That's true. When we have so many people starting an online business and everybody is kind of think there's an expert, but the people who are already in the space before, they benefit in some ways because they were there before and they've had some time to create content. As you said, maybe you were preparing for this moment your whole life, Martina, and now it just handed to you. You've done the hard work. Yeah. I just want to mention in that context, there was a woman who had a membership on diversity, and she had been doing the work for 2 years, and membership so not super successful. She got 6,000 members suddenly because of Black Lives Matter. So think about being ready. You got to be doing the work. So you cannot say, oh, now I'm going to be an expert in this topic.
Exactly.
You have to be it before. So but it is more important though, even if you've been in the space before, what can someone do that thinks like, okay, I think I'm an expert, but I don't think I'm the expert?
So first of all, you always have to check out, I think it always starts with you. Positioning is a work you have to do from within so yeah, first have really to look within yourself for what do I really want to stand for if I ask you this, and what shall people tell about you when you leave the space. So these are two really key questions you have to answer yourself. And then if you really have a sharp expert profile, so I work always, the first session is always to clear a really great expert profile for my clients. So it's like an avatar for themselves. And then, of course, because I developed my expert branding matrix, and it's called I, you, and we. And with the we is I look what are the players on the field. So for me, a market is like playing football. Yeah, you have a lot of players on the field, and everybody wants the client, and the client is the goal over there. Yeah, so can I get the goal?
That's a good analogy. Yeah.
And so you have to look at your players, yeah, and you must know, of course, who I am, what do I know, what's my expertise, for what do I stand for. But I also have to look at my players there, and I say, okay, what are they telling the crowd? What is their messaging? How do they do marketing? What are the offers? So you really have to look deep dive into the market, and then you have to check, okay, what really makes me unique comparing to my competitors. What is it what's really making me unique? And in my formula, I always say you have to first, as an expert, you need positioning. Then you need status, because people buy status, not only your own expert status, but people always buy a level up of their own status. So I want to feel better afterwards. When I work with you, I want to up level my status in my online business. If I come to Sigrun and say, I want to make 100K, or I already make 100K, and I come into your group, so after 12 months, my goal maybe will be to double, triple, or whatever. So I want to up level my status. And then you, of course, need a framework, a blueprint that makes you unique. That's something really important nowadays. I think no expert positioning without an own method or framework. And then you really have to provide deep transformation for your clients. Not only information, you have to give really transformation. And this all combined makes you really the go-to expert in your industry. And of course, you don't need to get better than your competitors. You have to be different than everybody else on the market.
Yeah. That is a great distillation of what it takes. Now, if someone is starting now, how long does it take?
I think you're also a good role model for this. If you do the hard work, I think also if somebody starts right now, I always recommend one thing: choose one channel. And this is your channel where you really broadcast into the world who you are, what you stand for, what you're doing, and how you can help and support other people. And do it really with consistently. And you are on this channel, you're present, you get out your message, and do it really top notch. And people will really recognize and realize this. Of course, you can then spread the word on other channels, but for me, the most important thing is do it first on one channel, because normally if you start out brand new, you have to do a lot of other things as well. And if you try to do like we do here, cool live show on YouTube or on every other channel, and then I do a podcast as well, and then I write, oh, Martina said she has written 2.5 books, I need a book as well. Then you somehow maybe get lost and you don't do it good, or you do nothing at all. So that, because you get stuck and you say, okay, what shall I do first? So I would really recommend, and at the moment I would say nothing more important than live video, live streaming video. That's the big thing. So if I would start out right now, only video, nothing else in the beginning.
Yeah. Well, I tried blog posts. I did a little bit. And then obviously, as you know, I did 100 episodes in 100 days. And my podcast is doing really well in the charts in different countries. You know, it goes up and down, as we know. And then I decided I got to go on YouTube. And then postpone it. And now we're finally here. So I do agree. If I would have tried to do this as well as with my podcast and possibly some blogging, it's just not possible. Now I have a team. So we can also have blog posts and articles that are basically summaries of what I did on video or audio. So that is very different. I think one thing that really also, I would say, in addition to everything you said, you just didn't mention it, but maybe that's also part of your formula, is consistency. I trust someone that has shown consistency.
Absolutely. 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 So that's why I said you have to do it absolutely consistent. If you hop on, if I would have done 10 episodes on my podcast, and if I would have written maybe one book and then 10 years I have done nothing about, they have forgotten me. And I don't trust anyone who makes a big show. So you see, I always call them my hot air balloons. Yeah, they do a big show and say, "Yeah, I'm the best, chaka chaka, and I'm the top #1 super expert." And they boost a lot of Facebook ads and make crazy videos and tell them, "Wow, they're super perfect." And then they go on and they make maybe a lot of selling. Maybe for one shot a lot of money because they like going on the market and kill it, and then they're gone. But that's a one-shot wonder, and it's a completely different strategy if you want to be known as an expert, and really an expert with substance and with deep knowledge and with really building up on this. That's a lifelong topic. That's not something it's done to, I have my expert status, I've written a few books, I have done this, check, now I can go on holiday. No, it's like an old wine. I always say expert branding is like growing wine.
Yes, I like that. It gets better and better.
Exactly. With every year, you grow your experience, your expertise, and it's like, you see, even if you're maybe 90 or 100, and Sigrun is doing a Facebook Live with me, we'll meet when we're both 100.
Yes, let's do it.
So we are the best champagne in the world and the most expensive champagne you can get. So comparable to this, because our knowledge and everything has grown with us. And that's expert branding. Be there for your tribe. Show what you know. Give gratefully to other people, and don't play small. So that's also something. Please, the most important thing for me also, I always say the big health issue for every expert is imposter syndrome. So they normally, the more they know, the more imposter sometimes they have. So because they will say, "Ooh, I don't know anything. I'm not good enough. Am I ready to go out on stage and say I'm an expert?" Yes, hell yes, you are.
Yeah, you are. So what do you see happening? Obviously, it's super important to be an expert in any economy, but even more in a crisis where people have less money. Now, it doesn't look like the crisis is going to be over soon. Actually, I think we're going to hit a big recession in the fall. Like that's where people will start to feel it properly. So what do you say? What do you foresee for your business or for your clients happening in the coming months?
They have to be really, really focused, and they definitely have to be out there in the market with a really super clear message. They have what they really need to do right now, and that's what I'm doing with all my clients, is really to look at their positioning, look at their offers, look at their messaging. Is it right? Is it according what's going on in the world? Do I need to adjust my offer? Do I need to adjust my message? So these are the most important thing you have to do right now. And then really not only looking short term, but also for long-term goals. Where do you want to go in the long-term run, and what are the milestones, and what are your clients needing short-term and long-term? I think that's really super important right now. And because as an expert, we are the advisors for problem solving. So we have to understand the problems of our clients. And then the second thing is we have to solve them, or we have to have a framework, a method to help them to solve their problems or get the transformation they want. And therefore, you really have to listen right now, super, super clear. What does the market need right now? And what's coming in the future? So do short-term and long-term planning, and really talk to your clients. Get out there. that was also something when people were in shock and nothing happened. So there's a, oh, I can't do anything. I'm not allowed to sell. I don't say, get on the phone, talk you to your clients, bring yourself in remembering, say, can I help you? Do you need anything? Now is the moment, bum. So, and create new offers, be quick. I think also that's something you have to be super flexible, because we all don't know what time will bring. I'm surely with you with recession. I also think that there maybe be a second wave of Corona, because if I see how people act and react in the news, crazy. What shall I say?
Yeah.
And I think that that's something you really have to keep in mind. And and you have to be super flexible, and you must be able also with your positioning maybe to change it 180 degree at a moment when the market needs it. Yeah. That's not something, and I always said this, I always said your positioning must be as flexible as a willow, so in the wind, because you have to be quick, you must be able to react what the market needs right now, because the times are long over when you maybe 20 years ago say, okay, I will be a marketing advisor and this will stay till I fall into my grave. So these times are long gone.
They are. Well, on this very positive note, well, it is a positive note. I think if you are an expert and you're agile, you will thrive in any economy.
Absolutely.
And Martina, I want to thank you so much for joining my live. People will be able to find you. We have the link already there in the description. Martina, thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me, Sigrun. It was, as always, a big pleasure, and much success to you and to all your listeners.
To you too.